I wanted to. I definitely. I got some show and tell stuff here that I got
Sure.
while I was at my mom's house. So
What do you
so
got?
I went to Peoria for the weekend before Thanksgiving. That's when my mom normally does would try to do the Thanksgiving stuff the weekend before because a lot of people were like busy after that. So we went this year and I had a plan. I had a plan for whenever I would return to Peoria again, and that was to visit a store called Stooges Comics and Collectibles. Now, this is a comic book store that's actually been has just got started like this year, I think, like maybe only been open for a few months or half a year or something like that. But it was started by the guy who owned the comic store that I went to when I was in high school. So the owner Chris has actually looked me up online like years ago on Facebook, and was like, hey, what's up? And we kind of became friends online again. And I saw that he had opened another comic store, and I was very excited to go. And I was like, well, I'll come whenever I'm in Peoria again. And I did. I went there, and I wanted to just throw some money down and be a supporter because we were pretty close back in the day. Like my friend Caleb and we went to his wedding. I remember him and his brother came to my graduation party. Like so we were we hung out outside of the comic store. Not to mention like we would go there after hours and play Star Wars role playing and stuff like that. And it was just it was a really good experience for me. And I've talked many times on this show about how much I love comic books and how it was how I grew up reading them and all that. And Central City Comics is what it was called in Morton, and that was a big part of it. That was just kind of like a place we would hang out. I even like worked there for a day once, and I made a video for high school. Like that was my job shadowing. I went to the comic store to run that's what I did for my job shadowing project, and we made a video about it of like a mock video of me selling comics to the owners and all that stuff. So we did, like I said, we were fairly close and we did a lot of shit. I wish I could find that video because he mentioned it while I was there, and I was like, I have no idea where that video is. I mean, it's probably in a box somewhere in my house now.
Did you
But
pretend like you were at the cash register and stuff?
yeah, I was. Yeah, I was at the cash register, and his brother like went through the line, and I sold him comics or whatever,
Like some Superman or some maybe some Spider-Man.
something like that. I mean, it was probably
Cool.
Fantastic Four because that was the big one I was into. But no, I remember I covered for them one day when they went to a comic convention that was out of town, and they paid me in. They were like, just whatever you want. What do you want? So they paid me in comics, and I was like tell me whatever you want through the back issues, and we'll give you a bunch of free stuff. And I was like, okay. So I covered them for for paid. I worked for comics there for like one day. But yeah, no, it was a it was a place for us to hang out and not get into trouble. And they were always cool to us and all that stuff. So I remember my friend Caleb and I think the first day. Well, we went there. We were working at some like church thing or whatever, some fucking church like garage sale or whatever that was awful. And we ended up getting like kicked out for I don't know why, probably for Caleb causing trouble or something like that. But we both got exiled from the garage sale, and we were both kind of like bummed out. And he was like, "Hey, we should go see that new comic store." And at the time, it was called Joker's Den, and that was a different guy who owned it, Jerry, which he was always kind of a little weird. I like Chris better, but we went there and we met Jerry, and that just became like our place that we hung out all the time. And they had the Super Nintendo there. They had the Batman pinball machine. I remember playing a lot of that, like the 1989 Batman, the Tim Burton one, which was really cool. And they had the X-Men arcade game there for a minute too. So there was stuff to do, like aside from the comics. And yeah, we would just hang out there, and it was it was cool. I think it was the first time I met people who could like speak entirely in Star Wars quotes and all that and that sort of thing. So it felt
Right
like
on.
it was like well, Star Trek. That's Star Trek, but uh, you know, it was like
So
me.
the force be with you.
It was like it was like it's like when you find a really nice bar when you're older. It's like that sort of thing, but younger. Minus the alcohol and whatnot. But while I was there, I decided, I was like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to throw some money down just to support, to support the comic book world, and just because I was happy that that he was able to get a comic book store again. So yeah, Jess and I went there on the way back. Well, on the way to my mom's house, we stopped there first and just gave a look around to see what they had, and I was like, yeah, I didn't really know what they had, but we ended up getting a couple bags of different things, which I'm going to show now. And I did get a gift from him for that was very appropriate for showing up. He gave me a free copy of Marvel All on One, the Thing versus the Marvel Universe, because the Thing is one of my favorite characters. So,
That's awesome.
and this is like a comic books aren't cheap anymore. This is an $8 comic here. That's like a fairly somewhat new comic. It's actually I saw it on Unlimited, Marvel Unlimited, right after I got it, but it's it's a whatever. It's like a double sized one that because he remembered that I was the Thing fan. So
Yeah, it's got a nice
so he threw me.
square binding.
So he threw me something for stopping in. But let's see what else do we get? I also got he had some Marvel 2-in-1 stuff. I didn't know exactly which ones I needed. I need to like catalog that because I did end up getting a double, but it's fine. It was the cheapest one. But I got a Marvel 2-in-1, 2, 3, and 4. This is like the thing like limited series. There was like 100 comics of them, of him with a different person every month. I got a bunch of these, but I don't have I'm missing some. It turns out I didn't have this. I didn't have the Submariner one, but I did actually already have the Daredevil one. So I got 2 of these. But this one was 10. It was the cheapest out of all of them. So whatever. And I do have doubles, so it's no big deal. But I picked up that. I got the Submariner one, and I got the Captain America, the Thing in Captain America also. Just kind of going by my own, like, do I remember if I own this or not, sort of thing. And in the same world, I also bought this Doctor Doom toy. This cool one. But really fun. One fun thing about it is if you open it, there's a little sticker up here at the top that says KB Toy Stores. Yeah, represent. Do you remember that shit back in the day?
Do.
So it's blacked out, but if you look at it real close, it says like
$400.
It says like KB Toy Store, like $3 clearance or whatever on it.
Whatever we feel like charging dollars.
Yeah, I mean, well, because I'm sure when it came out, and it's like, it's like a numbered whatever. It's one of there were only so many of them released, but there's a Doctor Doom with the, with like the cloth cape and all that fun stuff, and yeah, I mean, that was the only really well, actually I do have one other Fantastic Four thing, but like as far as like they didn't have a whole lot of Fantastic Four stuff, but I got the Doom back before Doom was Robert Downey Jr. We got this one when Doom was a real villain still. But yeah, I got that for $24. It also has an advertisement for an Aunt May doll on the back. I never saw her, but there's that. It's like yeah. I mean, maybe
they just printed those to order.
And speaking of Fantastic Four stuff, I also got a Silver Surfer pewter statue.
Oh, damn.
That's cool.
Of the Norrin Rad, not the one from the latest Fantastic Four movie, the one from the one before that, the one that Doug Jones played. But yeah, here you go, Norrin Rad for $30. It's a cool little statue. If anyone's
gonna be pewter, it should be him.
He's standing on top of a comic book under.
You should paint it just to be a jerk.
No, turn him into the Gold Retriever instead of the Silver Surfer. No way. Yeah, this is limited. It says one of 9,998. Really? This is the first one? Maybe I should have sold it for more. It's got a
certificate. Why don't you go that far, not go all the way to 10,000? That seems stupid.
Yeah, actually it is. It just says this is one of those because on the back it has the actual number. It says
one was the Golden Retriever.
This is 6,108.
Oh,
is the number? Yeah.
And then the last one was the Platinum Panther.
But yeah, it's a cool one. I mean, oh yeah, and it's got a Silver Surfer comic on the back too, like one of the newer ones. But I wanted to get like a statue or something like that I could look at and be like, oh yeah, I got that from Stooges, so I could remember that I was there or whatever. And this next thing, I've never seen these before, so I felt I kind of had to get them just because they're very weird and they're still kind of like they're very much me in a couple ways. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, chopsticks.
Chopsticks. Oh,
I've never fucking heard of these before ever.
That's fucking cool.
They were just too fucking weird for me to not get. I got them for like $12, but it's like, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorite movie series of all time. So, but like, I'm not going to use them. I'm going to keep them in the package. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street chopsticks, and they're like, it's Freddy's glove, and there's like 2 really long needles on the top here, and it's like it's like the Cheaters ones, where they're already connected. But there you go. This is my weird. We always got to get something weird. There's the weird thing from there. That's from the first bag. In the second bag, something interesting. Right when I got there, they had a wall. They had like a full wall of Star Trek toys, and Chris is like, "Yeah, we've been told that we have the biggest collection of Star Trek toys." And I mean, it's actually the most Star Trek toys I've seen in one spot. for sure. So they got a lot of them, and Jess and I found a lot that we had never seen before. So we picked up some of these as well. So we got so I got the Andorian, or one of the Andorians from the original series right there. He's got a full he's got like a pink cape there that's all like you know, that's all fluffy and whatnot. Andorians are always some of my favorite aliens. They are the ones with the weird. They're pretty much just, you know, they just got antenna on their heads. But if you ever watched Enterprise, there was like an Andorian who was played by, what's his name, Jeffrey Combs. He was in Reanimator. He was like probably the most well known of the Andorians. But I always thought they were really cool. Actually, there was an Andorian in the Strange New Worlds also that was really cool because he was blind and he was actually played by a blind person, which was really cool. But they killed him in the first season, which was stupid. Spoilers, sorry if you haven't seen it yet. It's free on YouTube. You can watch all of them. But yeah, Andorians, I always thought they were cool. I actually have an Andorian toy over there, but it's not as cool as this one. It was like a smaller one that I got from Toy Tour. Let's see. Also, sticking with the original series stuff, I found a toy of the Gorn from Arena. I love the Gorn so much. He's so cool. They actually did newer versions of the Gorn for Strange New Worlds that are pretty cool. But I love this fucking Gorn dude. Arena is one of my favorite episodes. That's from the first season. But if you watch Star Trek on any of the streaming services now, there's a Lucas version of it where they've like upgraded everything, and now the Gorn blinks, which is weird. But yes, now he has eyes that blink, even though in the original suit his eyes did not blink. But yeah, I found this cool Gorn figure, which, you know, hell yeah. And those are the ones that I got. These ones were more for Jess, but we still picked them up. So everyone's favorite from Star Trek Voyager, we found a toy of Neelix. we got a Neelix.
Oh my god, that's like the freaking Jar Jar Binks of that show.
Hey, yeah, I mean, Jess likes Neelix. I know.
Like
I heard he got a lot of shit, but I mean, he doesn't seem. I mean, I've seen more
There's
annoying.
a couple episodes where he's a psychotic, jealous person.
Yeah, he does some weird shit from what I've seen. And his like girlfriend is the girl from SLC Punk too. It's what's her face, right? Trish, or no, not Trish.
She's only like 2 years old.
The other one, Sandy. It's Steve-O's girlfriend. Yeah, which I always, whenever I see it, I was like, wow, I like Sandy. There she is. And we got one more thing. This one's pretty obscure. It's a deep cut. We didn't even know this toy existed, but it's a Lita the Dabo girl from Deep Space Nine. I guess she dated one of the Ferengis, and it's like it was too weird to not get. Like this whole backside of what's available. It's like with this one, there was one that was like when Cisco turns into a Klingon. They had a toy of that too. Like there's some pretty like odd ones. Yeah, you get like the Beverly when she's married to Picard is one of them, or the lady from the Star Trek 1 movie, the first one that was really bad, the motion picture. You could find her. But yeah, lots of cool Star Trek toys. Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Chris and to Stooges Comics and Collectibles for if anybody's in Peoria. I think it's at like Lake and Prospect or something like that. Don't quote. I know it's on Lake. I know it's on Lake Avenue. It's in a mall with a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, look it up. I was really happy to, thanks for having us. And it's nice to shoot the shit and talk about the old days and all that, and spend some dough on comic books and toys. So
This is the season.